Yeah, g'day everyone. My name's Izat, or you can call me Easy. My call sign is VK2 Yankee India. My contest call is Victor Japan 2 Tango, as they say. I'm located in Sydney, in Australia, and I thought, one day I thought, okay, well, I need some more analytics when I'm contesting. I'm an avid contester, or not necessarily sort of a chit chat person that goes in rag shoes, but been leaning towards contesting more than anything out of the ham radio hobby or amateur radio hobby. So I thought, well, let me see if I can use Claude Code and a bit of Python scripting myself, as well as some other things. I'm from an IT background, 20 plus years of that. But I thought I'd build something that'll help me or assist me in a contest, live and post contest, that is. So I built what they call the VK contest analyzer. So the VK contest analyzer, it's not necessarily just for VK contests, it's actually for a lot of the contests. And if you would like a supported contest in this app, please drop me a comment in this YouTube video, and I'm more than happy to build it out. No problem. Essentially, you just have to go to, and I'll link it in the comments below or in the chat below, which is the VK Contest Analyzer GitHub page, and you'll see that it's a real-time competitive intelligence tool for N1MM. It would read your S3 database, which is S3DB database, which is your database in N1MM. You pick it, and we'll display it anyway. We'll show that all. It's just very simple. We're at the moment we're on 26.7.23. A lot of work has been put into this. But if we click on this, and you'll see that obviously the last one was when? 26.7.3 was 4 days ago. So there's two versions that are supported here, and I'm looking for people that would contribute to this. I want to make a Mac version, and I don't necessarily have anyone, or I don't have a Mac myself, but I'm looking to sort of purchase one. But if you are a Mac user and would like to contribute and get involved in this project, more than happy to. Please reach out to me, and more than happy to sort of help you along the way in terms of compiling something for me. But we'll just download this, and I think I might have downloaded it already, by looks of it. Yes, I have. Very simple. There's a setup.exe. You simply click on this, and hopefully it'll be on the right page. It is. Just because I haven't signed it, I haven't paid my $300 to Microsoft, this will come up. No need to worry. Hit more info and just run anyway, because I'm an unknown publisher. And we'll just bring this here, and basically it'll put itself into C program files, VK contest analyzer. Obviously it's already theirs, but we'll continue. You can create the desktop icon and hit the install button. Pretty straightforward, just like everything else. Next, 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 finished, as they call it. But then you just keep this on and just launch VK Contest Analyzer, and hopefully it'll come up on the right page. It obviously didn't, but it came up on my main page, that is. So this is the analyzer right here. A lot to sort of take in right now, but we'll get to the bottom of it. This is the overview tab. It's what they call, this is pretty much your snapshot of everything that you need. For example, you want to look at your contest time that you got left, what your efficiency is in terms of what band you're efficient in. This will give you some a VFO readout. It'll give you your frequency readout. This will show you your current rate, your previous rate, and how you're trending, and what's your best hour, and how many multis and multi-twos and total multis that you have. This is something that is really interesting that we can look through, which is a QSO value. So essentially, what QSO should I go for, which will give me the most points and the most multipliers. Obviously, this is something that's the last work. If you're at a multi station, all the operators will be listed here, and it'll also show you some fatigue statistics. And this thing here is a contest online score plugin. So if you're using contest online and you're reporting your score to contest online score, it'll display here. You don't have to actually go and open up the contest online score and see where you're placed. Essentially, it'll all come up here. And this is your rate trend, your multi-efficient, dupe rate, average points, QSO, best bet. Very overviewish. Then you have the mini HUD. So if we click on that, you'll see the mini HUD comes up here. If you don't want to look at all this and you just want to look at something very, I guess, compact, you can do that. Now, it'll show you your score, your multis, your rates per hour, your efficiency, your how much time you got remain, what session you're in, what last QSO that you've had, and obviously the radio frequency. This operator HUD is basically for multis or multi-operators. So all the operators will be listed here, but we'll see that in a second. And replay, this is like a forecasting. What if you did this? You can switch off the panels here if you don't really want the panels, or some of the panels, and then you can reset the layouts, and then you've got sound alerts. The way that we start with this overview is we open a log. So I have all these databases that I have, and thanks for VK4 Sugar November, or VK4 Mike, for contributing to his databases to me. So it wouldn't have been possible without him. So you'll look here that this is one of my databases in N1MM, and N1MM will have a database, and inside that database you have all your contest logs that you create. So this is one of mine, and I'll just click on that, and you'll see that I have a whole bunch of logs in this database. WIA, you'll see some of them are actually empty, some of them actually got some stuff, but for this purpose, for this exercise, we're going to choose my recent one, which was done in March, which is the CQWPX SSB contest. Click on that, and you hit the load, and then everything is now loaded. Just looking at it briefly, you'll see that I got 1,297 QSOs. Out of those, I've got 1,281. There's going to be duplicates there, and that's what is counted. It's also giving me the score, how many prefixes. Now, once you hover over these things, it will show you the scoring algorithm. So, for example, average points per QSO based on the contest. It's automatically detected the WPX rules. You don't need to do anything, and or we're getting all this information from WPX, from your database. How much QSOs? 1.9 QSOs per multi, per multiplier. So QSOs per multiplier. So I'm not going to get too deep into this, but you'll see once you hover over it, it'll tell you exactly what this is. Best 60-minute rolling QSO rate, for example. Once you hover over these spark lines, as they call them, you'll see where you started to perform. Looks like I've gone quiet here between, I might have actually gone to sleep here, between 1200 UTC and 2100 UTC, and then I started picking up the pace there. I reckon I had at 0600 UTC, I had probably the best one, which was 111 QSOs per hour. That's my running score. You can see that obviously looks like I've sort of went quiet there, and then you'll see the multis per hour. Then you got this is your contest time, so that's my score. The best rate was 111 at 0600. I've got 16 duplicates. And this is all live, by the way. Obviously, the contest is not running at the moment, but this all would adjust in a live instance in real time, in near real time. And the way that you do that is we look up the top here. You can select 5 seconds for the refresh. So what that means is it'll go and get the data from the database. 15, 30, if you don't want to be too aggressive, you can put it for 5 minutes, or you can manually refresh. You also got themes. Now, I've thought of people that have accessibility problems from a visual perspective. So you can actually select the system OS, which is what it is at the moment. That's my system operating system. Select your dark. Uh, you can go to high contrast, which I seem to see that everyone seems to like that. You can look at these ones for, now I don't know how to say that. Protanopia, I think safe. I think it's a color issue, color blindness. And you can also change it yourself. You can change the colors yourself. It doesn't really sort of lock towards that one set of theme. Okay, let's scroll down a bit, and you'll see that obviously live ranking, there's no posting at the moment, and this is a current rate trend, multi-efficiency, dupe rate, average points, 80-meter band. That QSO value, you'll see here that this will sort of give you an indication of what band to try to target to get the best points, if that makes sense. Now, if we go to DX cluster, while the contest is running, you can actually, when people are actually posting their contests and you need a multiplier or a new band, it would list up here and it'll alert you. Obviously, this is not happening at the moment, and you could also change to whatever mode that you're working. Say, for example, single sideband. If I was to switch off these things and then just hit show last 20, we might get something here, but I'm not entirely sure. But we're connected to hrd.wa9pi.net, which is a very popular cluster. If we click on world map, it will draw the map of all the contacts that I've done. So, for example, 8 Papa 5 Alpha on 15 meters, 1 QSO, and it will show you the short path and the long path. Pretty cool. It's more visualization than anything. 8 Papa 5 Alpha, we got 15 meters. We made a contact there. And what I was saying is you can actually filter. Say, for example, I'll look at the 10-meter contacts. I want to make a look at the 15, the 20-meter contacts, 80. Obviously, nothing on 80. So that's pretty nifty little feature. Is it beneficial? It is beneficial, I guess, during the contest, probably post-contest as well, if you want to see how your antennas are working, etc. More importantly, this is probably the interesting one, is your rate tab, right? So these are your QSOs per hour, and gives you a good indication. Then you've got your multis. These are all your rates, 72, 171 new multis, and then this is the QSO per hour by band. So 10 meters, 91 QSOs, and so forth. This is interesting to show that this is my running score. So 483 QSOs, 37% of that new multis, cumulative multis, and then how much points I got. This is interesting as well, just shows by band breakdown. So I did have 2 QSOs with 3 points, 2 new multis. I don't know, only 2 QSOs, so too far to trust this ratio. So basically, the tool does tell you this ratio might not be right. And obviously, because we've had this as 3,014 hours ago, because obviously the contest is over, but you can see it's got a good snapshot of where your efficiencies are, what QSOs you're working on. Best band right now, it tells you, 40 meters is the best band right now. Working on a new multi on 40 is currently worth 5,900. I would target But we'll target 40 meters. That's where your points are. This is fatigue. So if I was to you got to select that, and you can have a look and see what as an operator, I've done 1,297 QSOs. I was 18 hours and 55 minutes on air. My off break was 16 hours. So I was off. I didn't do anything in 16 hours. QSOs per hour on air, 68. Then it works out the efficiency. If you were in a multi, so basically if you had multiple operators, it will all come up here for every operator. And obviously some nice graphing there. And then it's actually showing you. I don't have much data for CQWPX. I only make one QSO there, but if you did have a lot of QSOs compared in 2025 against 2026, you'll see the graph there. You'll see it come up, and you'll see the comparison. Again, if you notice that around about this time between I guess 1200 UTC and 20 is when I sort of probably fell asleep. And it's saying single hour dips is at 3 o'clock or 300, 900, 1100, 2100. So it's worth watching, but maybe contest specific. And then it tells you the nap schedule so that you can get your sort of nap schedule going, right? So consistent crash windows between 9 and 11. Oh, I don't know about 34, 36. That's wrong. That needs to be fixed. Consider scheduling an app to cover these single hour dips. That tells you when. That's another issue there. But good thing about this is that it's telling you exactly where to concentrate, right? Maybe maybe I don't know, an hour sleep here so you can sort of work this gap essentially. That's a bug there. Needs to be fixed. This is year on year. So essentially I can look at year on year. I can look at my WPX. And obviously that's my 2025. That's the only log that I have in there for the previous WPX. And you can just look at all the comparisons, which is fantastic. This can be used live as well. You'll see it grow. So essentially, if I was doing this contest in 2027, I'll have this line for 2026, and then you'll see the line grow. And am I below 2026? This is in 2027, theoretically, or am I above it? Let's work harder, pretty much. You can look at the UTC clock. You can hours elapsed. You can look at the multipliers, the QSO rate. I would probably look at the QSO rate and see if you can match it compared to the previous year. This is the pace. So this is your target. So we can look at what your best year is. Same thing. A lot of statistics here. What your current rate? What's your best hour rate? How about challenging yourself? Essentially, trying to sort of get that target. And you can set a target here as well if you really wanted to. You can say, well, my target score is 5 million. Yes, but still needed that. So I needed 1,000. But you got to be realistic with yourself here. Can you make that target? And then you set that target, and it will alert you that you're getting close to it. This is all about duplicates. It'll show you all the duplicates. You can debug multis here. And then this is your work stuff. Now, this is an interesting feature that I put in here. There's a QRZ integration here. So all of these are all lookups with all the grids as well as if there's any states from the US. And essentially, this will get fetched automatically. And we look at the post-contest report. So the post-contest report is just pretty much what we've been looking at, but essentially just on the one page. And you can export this report into HTML as well. So if you really wanted to. So what else can we look at? Now on the top status bar, you can zoom in and zoom out. You can make it as small or as big as you want. Obviously, we've spoken about the auto refresh. We've spoken about the theme. You can export all your data to CSV if you really wanted that. You can take a snapshot. basically click on that and it'll take a picture of it, of the snapshot. You could also report an issue. So I would love, if anyone's using this application, I would love them to sort of report that. It'd be absolutely fantastic. So is it a bug report? Do you want to see a new feature? You fill in what happened, what did you expect, what did you do to reproduce the issue? And if you wanted to use Claude or ChatGPT to polish it up, you can do that. You just copy the AI prompt, you go to Claude or go to ChatGPT, whatever AI engine that you like, and away you go. You can open up the GitHub issue. Obviously, we need a title and so forth, but once you do that, you need a GitHub account. It's absolutely free, and then I will pick it up automatically. All right, I think that's pretty much it, guys. I mean, I don't think there's anything else that I want to look up. Let's maybe look at the settings. Now, not everyone's log folders are in the same spot, so you can click on here and you can add them in here. So say, for example, your N1MM databases are somewhere else. And I'll just go to my one anyway. Documents. I know it's in documents, N1MM, and this is databases. So basically, this is where my one is. You can select this folder and it'll be added into here, which is here anyway, so you'll see it. But if your databases are elsewhere, no problem. You can just continue adding as many folders as you want, and that's fine. Now, if you look at QRZ lookup, I've got my call sign, I've got my password in there, and that's what's looking up those lookups for users, for their grid squares, their names, and all that sort of stuff. Once you do this, you can hit the button Enrich All. It'll go and fetch those. But also, if you really wanted to, you can click on this. You don't have to open up the log all the time, and it'll just show you all the logs that I have in my database at the moment. And I could literally just choose one. So say, for example, I want to choose VK Shires, comes up, and that's my overview. 284, valid QSOs, Shires worked, etc. How much I've done. And you'll see here that the fatigue, QSOs per hour, I don't know, it looks like I need more sleep. But yeah, pretty good. Let's just go through the mini HUD. And you'll see here in the mini HUD, you'll see this is my score, my multis. So if I don't really want to look at all this, I can just have this. I can make this into a horizontal if I really wanted to. And then obviously the radio. I'll just switch on the radio, guys, just so you guys can have a look. And you'll see it report its frequency. Hopefully, if I'm not mistaken. While that's cooking, we'll look at the operator HUD. And then if you're in a if you're multi-operators, you can actually look at all the operators here. They'll be listed all. And it'll show you what the QSO per hour. This is a replay. Pretty cool. Let me just open up the radio so we can get that frequency readout. And I'll just mute that. Yep. And this actually you can actually start this. So you can press play and it'll actually just play that for you. So say, for example, 300 times, maybe 900 times. Well, that's interesting. Back to life. That might be a work in progress, but essentially that's what it is. You press the replay, you press play, and it should technically just start redoing that page, but I don't know why that's not doing. Work in progress. We'll see how it goes. That's another bug I need to sort of open up. Moving on, what if? Now, we'll go to that. Now, you can say, what if 40 meters? And then basically simulate that. And then you can pick a multi and a band. So say, for example, that, and then you can just simulate that. This kind of scoring doesn't expose a per QSO estimate here. Treat the point data as a delta as approximate. Bit of work there as well. Panels, we know we've spoken about. You can reset the layout, and that's pretty much it. And there we are. So on the top there, you got 7150 is where this radio is at. And you'll see that the radio tile there. And mind you, you can move this tile wherever you want. So if I want to move this tile here, I could, and it comes up like that. If I was to get the mini HUD, there we are, we got that. So I don't really need anything else other than that. If, for example, I can just have this view here. Yep, which is pretty cool. Okay, I think that's pretty much it, guys. I'd love some feedback. By the way, there's some little pop-ups that come up here all the time that explains, hey, it's giving you some hints. It's pretty cool. If you want to turn that off, just turn off the sound alerts. And yeah, we'll talk to you on the air, and hopefully we'll catch you later. Thanks so much for watching, and please like, subscribe, and yeah, 73s.